We have another incredible interview here with On the Clock by Power Prospects Live. We have Tyson Neighbors, right-handed pitcher with Kansas State University. Tyson, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. How are you? Pretty good. Just got done with throwing, ramping back up. I think bullpen start next week, so feeling good.
Awesome. Yeah, the first question we always ask guys, just because not many people who are viewing might know who you are, just give a little bit of background on yourself, your journey through amateur baseball, some things you love to do outside of the game as well.
I'm Tyson Neighbors. I'm a right-handed pitcher from Kansas State. I close. I can do long relief out of the pen too, but pen's been mainly my job throughout the course of college baseball and even high school. Outside of baseball, I love to fish and just learn every things about, I guess, everything. Like, doesn't matter what it is. I kind of want to know everything about it and how it works, type thing.
Love it. You talked about being in the bullpen since you were in high school. How have you kind of embraced that role, that closer's role, and that closer's mentality?
I've kind of just always had a bulldog mentality. I grew up playing football. I didn't really know baseball is what was going to pan out. And grew up in a super competitive household. So always wanted to win, no matter if it's my little brother and I'm playing him in Madden, I'm trying to beat him by 200 points.
Have you beat him by 200 yet?
I actually have, yeah. I think I won by like 245 points one time.
So, how do you not rage quit?
There's a lot of crying going on. He was a lot younger. Now he's like 13, so he can sort of hang with me. I'm still gonna beat him by 20, but I mean, closer games.
Love it. Yeah.
Sounds like my household with Mario Kart. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. So I did want to ask you this because we were talking about this before you even hopped on. Was like, do we think that you have a chance to start? Do you think you have a chance to start? Like, I kind of want to ask you, do you think you would succeed as a starting pitcher, or do you think you're just made perfectly for like a closing role?
I mean, I think I could definitely start and have success there. I feel like no matter where I am, I feel like I have good teammates around me, and I could definitely start and be successful. Just trust my stuff and play in the zone. I mean, even in long relief, I know it's not starting. I've got up to 71 pitches, I think it was, and maintain control, velocity, everything. But I think I best benefit my team and feel very dominant out of the pen. I feel like I can affect more games. Like I can affect maybe 30, 40 games out of the pen, whereas the starter, I can maybe affect 10, 12. I don't know how many starts in a year. I never even thought about it. But, yeah, I think I definitely could. And if someone wanted me to down the road and push me that way, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I am very comfortable in the pen and know I can be dominant and successful out of the pen.
I gotcha. And then speaking of your stuff too, you have some of the best breaking balls in the country. Just do you mind just talking about the kind of stuff that you have, like considering the fact that you've missed bats at like a 70% clip with the breaking balls last year?
Yeah, I go at 12-6 curveball. I kind of spike it. It's this fall I was working on fixing my spin efficiency on it. So I got my induced vertical break to around -18 on the curveball. So cleaning up that spin efficiency was able to give me more depth, basically. So now it's still like 82, 86 and has like a lot more depth than it did before. And then slider rise, it's pretty gyro spin, harder slider, almost like a cutter, like slutter type pitch, kind of vertical, hard, 89, 91. And then four seam riding fastball spins like, I think 25 to 27. It's like 22, 26 IVB.
It's wild.
It's a rocket ship right there.
And then I've got a change up, been working on it. It has decent depth and arm side, but it's feel like kind of day to day. Like some days I'll have confidence and like, hey, I could throw this. And other days it's like, yeah, let's go slider, curveball, fastball. So
do you have a favorite pitch you go to, or is it just like you love going to every single one?
I was talking to Coach Darrow, my pitching coach today, about that, because some of the questions on like the questionnaires and stuff, it's like, what's your best pitch or what are you most confident in? And I was trying to figure out a way to like rank them because I want them all tied at first. Like it depends day to day. It's situational. Like sometimes I could throw my fastball every single time and have confidence and put it wherever I want. But the same goes with the slider. I could also put that where I want some days and have confidence in it. And then curveball some days feels like I could flip it in there every pitch. It's day to day, situational, how I feel. So it's really hard to say which one is like I feel is the best pitch because I've found great success in all of them.
Yeah, I mean that's a positive, right? Having 3+ pitches, right? You're not feeling one day, you can go to the other two.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like they all definitely build off each other, like shape wise and everything. So they all help each other be better rather than just a good pitch, like I guess by itself.
I mean, averaging 40 inches of like vertical difference between a curveball and the fastball, like, yeah, I'd say that works pretty well. I do want to ask you about your collegiate national team experience this year. You know, that was my first chance to try and see you, and every single scout was, you know, in awe considering the fact that, you know, I think I remember Mitch Voigt. You faced Mitch Voigt, and Mitch Voigt had no idea what the heck a slider was that you threw to him.
That was a curveball, actually.
That was
the slider.
Okay.
Yeah, the slider that day was like. So that was my first live outing, I think, since we didn't make the college baseball playoff. So I'd literally thrown one bullpen up to that point, I think, and I was just going out there and like, hey, we'll see. I hadn't feeling catch play, whatever. And my slider and curveball were like kind of blending. And then like that second outing, I kind of had two distinct shapes with the 82, 86 curveball and 89, 90 slider. But that outing, I think like slider was like 88, curveball was like 87. It like made no sense, but they were moving. So I was like, hey, I'm getting swings, I'll take it.
It was like the dirtiest sword I've ever seen in person. And I'm just like, okay, well, they don't make that in Michigan. So
yeah, U.S. national team was crazy. I mean, being around a bunch of guys that are really good at baseball, I mean, it was a great learning experience. Just able to talk to everybody, even the hitters, like see what they're seeing type thing, and just hear from them. You know, it's always good to hear from other great minds and great talents, and just being around them makes you better. So overall, it was awesome.
Do you still talk to anybody from the team by chance, or?
Yeah, I still talk to a handful of them. I'd say a good amount of them, honestly, more than I thought I would have going into it. Like day one, I was like, oh, I doubt I'll even ever be able to talk to these guys. And then now, I mean, I'm some of them talking to them daily, so it's cool.
Sweet.
And of course, my roommate, Kalen.
I was about to say, yep, Kalen, because you both made the team too, I do believe.
Yes, sir.
Was the first Kansas State Wildcats to make it, correct?
I think we had Craig Wilson. I don't remember how long ago that was, but I was the second one, and then it was like maybe a month later. It was awesome because Coach Hughes told me he was about to tell him. He was like, "Come up to my office," and then Casey got told the news, and he was freaking out. He's like, "No way, this is awesome." So like they kind of like doubted him from the start once he got there, and then he made the team, and then I think he didn't start first game, and like second game hit 2 bombs, and I was like, I think he started at third for the rest of the series, so that was awesome.
Yeah, let's say he did amazing in there. Yeah. I remember because I think he hit like the top of the wall off the first home run or something like that, and I was just like, okay, yeah, he's good.
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Just wrapped up the fall here. I'm assuming, kind of going into the Christmas or holiday season. What are some things that you worked on this fall that you're kind of getting yourself ready for the 2024 season?
Yeah, so I worked on really spin efficiency on my fastball. It was last year around like 78 to 85, just depending on game to game, like kind of how I felt. And I already knew I had good spin rate and good profile with IVB and stuff. And I was like, well, if I can maximize it by getting that 95, 100% range and a lot of like clean fuego. And we have another one that's like leather, kind of like a baseball, but it's the same ideal, like clean fuego. And throwing that a lot and cleaned it up. So now it's like 99, 100%. So I'm getting that extra like life and carry on it. So, and then same thing with the curveball. Just cleaned up a little bit of spin efficiency on that to get sharper downward break. Yeah, and just refining just location stuff, But mainly the spin efficiency was what I kind of attacked this fall.
Love it. Tyler, I'll turn over to you if you have any other questions. I only got a couple more, but
Yeah, I think I got one more from when you mentioned football earlier. Were you linebacker, fullback by chance, or?
I played pretty much everything. I played like outside linebacker, free safety, running back, fullback, tight end, slot, quarterback, punter. It was ridiculous. Everything.
Can you play for the Panthers, please? Because I need a win. I really need a win.
That'd be awesome. That'd be crazy.
I feel like anybody could play for the Panthers at this point.
David Tepper, I'm 3 hours away. Hit me up, please.
Yeah, one of the last questions that I had is kind of looking into the 2024 season. Are there some teams or players that you're really looking forward to playing, and what are some of your expectations for the season?
I mean, honestly, our whole schedule, we made it to where the RPI cannot be brought into conversation, right? We put ourselves in a pretty difficult string schedule, so just going out and dominating and making no question. I mean, if you win 40 games, you're not going to be denied from the college baseball playoffs. So making leaving no excuses on the table, like it's all on us. Like we're going Tennessee midweek. I think we have a couple other like midweeks where we're going like halfway across the country because it's hard midweek to play teams like in the Midwest with high RPIs, and that's just kind of I think what hurt us late in the selection last year. But like I said, if we had won 40 games last year, how are they going to say no, right? Like there's always those what ifs, but be undeniable type thing, Just win enough games and there won't be a question, right? So
yeah. I definitely know the challenges of the RPI. I worked baseball ops at Nevada, and they won 42 games one year. Didn't make the college playoffs because they lost in the Mountain West tourney. So, yeah, strength of schedule is always huge.
Yeah, last year was a little crazy with with the last-minute selections and people who got selected over us when we had swept them and some other stuff. So
awesome. Yeah, Tyler, I don't know if you have any more, but
no, not really. I mean, just other than KState got robbed last year. I'll admit to that. That was pretty wrong in my opinion. Like, I don't think there's a few West Coast teams that probably should have made it in over a couple of them. Like, I'll admit I'm an NC State fan. I don't think NC State should have been in the tournament, but that's just me. But I would have loved to have seen you guys in the playoff last year. So you got my support on that.
We feel like in that environment, we do really well in like Big 12 tournament. We've come up, I think, in the semifinals back-to-back years, and it's just we know if we get in a regional that we're coming out of that regional. So it's just tough to have that. I think my freshman year, or I guess it was the year before I got there. Actually, I think it was a similar situation where they kind of got snubbed, and then last year. And it's just we got to be undeniable. It's like kind of what Coach Hughes says, like put yourself in a situation to where it's not in question. You're not a bubble team, right? You're even hosting. Like just be undeniable. So
yeah, I'm sure like not getting in last year puts a chip on your guys' shoulder. So there's a positive, right? You can kind of carry that over into this season, motivate you guys to go.
For sure. Hold on, it just didn't feel like the season was over. Like. We got out of the deal. I think we shut out Texas 6-0, and then I think beat KU right after. And then I think our last 4 losses of the season were to TCU, but we were like the last team to beat them until the College World Series when they lost. I was like, after they beat Arkansas by like 20 runs or something, I was like, okay, maybe they are the hottest team in the country right now. But yeah, it was weird. We just thought we had more season left, and then show up to the field and see the selection, and we're like, wow, that's over. It's kind of It just took a little while to like set in. Like we don't have any more games, but be undeniable this year. No make it in question, and we'll have a problem with that.
Yeah, well, man, we'll be watching, and we're wishing you all nothing but the best and all the luck going into next season. And we can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us on the clock. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, good luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too.